Boom! I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and this is Toy Talk. Hi, I'm outside one of the oldest surviving grocery store chains to talk about how revolutionary it was when founded. I've also got a model of one of their modern trucks to talk about a little later in the video. For those of you that are new here, I want to welcome you to my channel and ask that you subscribe so that you can keep up with my videos on the best diecast replicas for your collection. I'd also like to remind you that I sell loads of diecast replicas on my website, farmtoysandmore.com, and you should check it out after the video for your next great piece for your collection. Does anyone know when the first supermarket appeared in America and where it was? Who invented the supermarket? Well, Piggly Wiggly, founded by a marketer who thought there was a better way to market groceries, started the Piggly Wiggly Grocery Store. Piggly Wiggly has been in business since 1916. Even today, you can find a Piggly Wiggly store in several states. The store is a far cry from its beginnings. Through the years, Piggly Wiggly has evolved into the modern store that we see today. So, let's go back in history to 1916 and Clarence Saunders, the founder of Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly was the first self-service grocery store in America. Before Clarence Saunders, the grocery business was composed of individual specialty stores, including meat markets, bakeries, greengrocers, and so on. The closest to the modern grocery store was the A&P Cash and Carry Economy Store that opened in 1912. But even that store sold goods on the old method of giving your list to the clerk and having them pull and bag the groceries for you. To learn more about A&P, I've got a link in the description below to my video on A&P and a Neo-Scale Models Chevy delivery truck. Check it out after the video. Clarence Saunders' earth-shattering marketing idea was revolutionary, and he was even told countless times it would fail. But that didn't discourage him from trudging on. His revolutionary idea was so simple. It's amazing that no one tried it before or thought it would work. His idea was to bring all of these individual stores under one roof with a self-service shopping experience. So, he created the beginnings of the one-stop grocery store. His idea has expanded into today's one-stop shopping in the big box stores. In many ways, he destroyed our shopping experience. But how could he know what the future of shopping would be like today? When the customers walked into the first Piggly Wiggly in Memphis, Tennessee on September 6, 1916, they were greeted not by clerks eager to take their shopping list, but with a turnstile and aisles of foodstuffs on shelves and a real novelty, shopping carts. This undoubtedly confused some of the shoppers, but didn't seem to discourage them as they ventured into this new shopping experience. After walking the aisles, which were laid out in a one-way traffic pattern, guiding the customers to all the items, and finally leading them to a checkout stand, another first in the groceries industry. Once the customers paid at the cash register checkout stand, they made their way out through another turnstile and took their groceries on home. The picture Clarence Saunders took in 1918 shows exactly how Saunders laid out his first Piggly Wiggly store, so you can see just how organized and helpful he tried to make his new shopping experience. Clarence Saunders' new idea was a hit, and it grew quickly. Eventually, every other grocer in the country adopted the self-service, full-line grocery store method of shopping, leading us to today's mega supermarkets. Some call that progress. Personally, I think it isn't, and has led to a far less personal shopping experience, and I would like to go back to the old method of selling groceries. Check this picture out, guys. Just look how well dressed those cashiers are at a local Piggly Wiggly. This was in the 50s or 60s, and there's the manager coming down to inspect the cashiers. Can you imagine seeing that done today? As to the name Piggly Wiggly, Clarence never ever told the story of its origin. The closest we have is a few people once asked him why he chose the unusual name. And he replied, so people will ask that very question. So I guess he knew curiosity was important long before the rest of the businesses caught on, as the name intrigued people enough to shop in his store and make it a big hit. I'll talk a little about Piggly Wiggly in 2021 after the model review, which I will head over to the quarry right now and talk about a Volvo by DCP for Piggly Wiggly.
And here we go, guys. This is the Volvo VNL 330 day cab tractor with high fairings on it, and a 53-foot utility 3000R refrigerated trailer for Piggly Wiggly. This model came out many years ago. It's a 1/64 scale die-cast replica, and as you can see, one of the flaws that they had with these replicas, and most manufacturers have had this problem, is that over time the white wheels actually start to turn yellow. Not really sure why they do that, but they do, and it is kind of a bummer, but that's the way it is. It shows that this is an old model. Now let's go on and start off with the trailer. The utility 3000 dry van has rivet detail on the side, working suspension on the rear, 10-hole white painted wheels. Well, they're cast in white plastic, so they've yellowed over time, and it's also got soft rubber tires on them. Here you can see it has its spare tire carrier with spare tire and rim, and it also has the reefer fuel tank there. There's a date of manufacture up by the Kingpin of 3158. So this was made on the 315th day of 2008. Those Piggly Wiggly graphics are just great, tampoed down the sides. The really nice, crisp, bright red, and then the black text of down home, down the street. Over on the passenger side, same great graphics. Isn't that sharp? Trailers are painted white, roof is painted silver, the bottom is also painted silver. 2 brake lights on each side, tampoed red. The ICC bumper has its DOT markings tampoed on it. There's also DOT striping on the bottom of the doors. There's a trailer number of 312 tampoed right there, and then the Piggly Wiggly logo on each door. Cam locks and hinges here are also tampoed silver. Roof clearance lights, and then some reflectors. Now, being a DCP trailer, the door does open to reveal a detailed refrigerated interior, including a front wall with the refrigerated panel, and then the side walls are white, and then an insulated floor. Really, really nice trailer. One other thing, you can see the little Piggly Wiggly pig on each mud flap back here, and the mud flaps are white. The whole thing is cast in white. There's the truck number on each corner so the driver can see easily. They also tampoed the truck number on the front of the reefer. This is the Carrier Reefer, and you can see it has Carrier tampoed there and there. Also the logo for which model carrier it is. And then the panel right here would probably have been where all of your controls are, but they didn't tampo those. Grills, everything else. The reefer units are all plastic on these trailers. Has the standard screw down landing gear type. I'm going to put it down so I can pick up the truck. This is that Volvo 330 cab. Talked about the 670 in my Lay's potato chips video, and the 670s are sleeper cabs, and that one had the mid-roof, but the 330s are day cabs. It has the Piggly Wiggly logo on the door, and then it says Keene, New Hampshire, which is where the corporate headquarters are, and it has its US DOT number 122197. Door handle is tampoed, so is the marker light. There's also a little engine insignia tampoed right there, and then a truck number of 205 tampoed on this back piece of fairing. Then two really nice red stripes. 10-hole painted wheels. It would have been nice if they painted them instead of just casting them in white, which yellows over time. Fuel tank here. Quarter fender, those are both chrome pieces. Steps, air tanks, battery boxes, and step, and those are black molded plastic. Passenger side, very much the same, only the fuel tank is a little bit bigger. And then this isn't really the battery box, it's around the muffler exhaust emissions control system. Nice rendition of a Volvo grill. Volvo logo in the center with the slash, and then they used a lot of black paint to make it look like a black grill with the chrome outline because they chrome plated the whole piece. In the bumper you'll see it has the driving lights are just tampoed on, but up here in the hood the two headlights are individual jewel style pieces, which are nice plastic renditions of headlights, which make them look really sharp. And then they put a little bit of orange paint for the turn signals. Also, there's a little plastic grill insert on both sides of the hood, which is part of the air conditioning. Up inside the cab, two high back seats, which are molded in gray, dashboard's in gray, steering wheel is in black, and then there's a black gear shift. Windshield is hard plastic instead of vacuum formed, so it's not super clear, but it's clear enough to see in. There's no driver or passenger window, but there is a back window that's hard plastic. Then on the front they molded in the headlights, and then they tampoed them black, and then tampoed black around the windshield. The visor here also has the three roof clearance lights. The upper high fairing, they didn't put any tampos on it. It would have been really neat with a big Mr. Pig logo right there, but they didn't do it, and that's most likely because Piggly Wiggly doesn't do it. On each side there are two black molded ABS plastic mirrors. On the back of the cab, there's a grab bar, your airlines here, and then there's your exhaust stack, just a single one over on the passenger side. You can see the structure that holds the two side fairings, and then you can see the upper structure. And you can see here how it is hollow, just it is a hollow piece that's added on, because they offer this day cab without the fairings too, and a lot of trucks don't have it. Quarter fenders there are chrome plated with the little rubber piece painted black. Fifth wheel there is a little die cast piece. Chrome plated deck plate there for the driver to stand on. Chrome plated mud flap brackets. Well, they chrome plated the whole thing, and then they painted the mud flaps white, put Mr. Pig logo on them, and put some DOT striping. Two brake lights and one backup light tampoed right there on the back of the bumper. Also on the very back of the cab there are two work lights. There's your muffler. It's over there on the passenger side, protected by the step, and you can see the grill. Two fuel tanks, and you can see how they're different sizes. Your bottom of your air tanks, bottom of your engine and transmission detail, drive shaft and another drive shaft. Rear suspension here is an air ride suspension with little brake canisters for the air brakes. Front is a spring suspension with positional steering. Not true steering, just positional steering. The cab doors don't open, but the hood does to reveal a detailed Volvo engine with, there is your steering controls, engine, air intake. Really, really nice job they did on these trucks. Now, they don't do a whole lot of Volvos because, well, most guys don't want the Volvos and models, but they do a decent number, and when they do, they're mainly for these company runs. And there we go. That is the Volvo VNL 330 day cab with fairings, pulling a utility 3000R reefer van with a carrier reefer for Piggly Wiggly of Keene, New Hampshire. It's a 1/64 scale die-cast metal model made by Diecast Promotions.
Piggly Wiggly was certainly ahead of its time and set the pattern for all other grocery stores. A testament to Clarence Saunders' idea that everyone said would fail. Piggly Wiggly is still in operation today, covering the eastern half of the United States with quality food and reasonable prices. There are over 530 independently owned and operated Piggly Wiggly franchise stores in 17 states today. Corporate headquarters are in Keene, New Hampshire, and it provides retailers with services such as support, marketing programs, and a line of Piggly Wiggly promotional items, like the DCP truck and pig logo items. While that DCP Volvo for Piggly Wiggly is long sold out, I do have other Diecast Promotions truck models, along with lots of other die-cast replicas, including some Piggly Wiggly toy trucks and buildings, on my website, farmtoysandmore.com. Shop it now to find the missing piece in your collection. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate each and every one of you more than I can possibly express. It's all because of you that I can make these videos. But if you could really help me out by doing a couple of things, it will help me keep going with this channel. Please smash that like button, share this video with your friends, drop some comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and sponsor me over on my Patreon page. I know I haven't talked much about it lately, but every sponsorship really helps me afford to keep this channel going. There is a link to my Patreon page in the description below. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.